We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Flags in the back. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, are there any adjustments to the agenda?
No.
Okay. Consideration of the minutes from last meeting?
Madam Chairperson, they should be included in your packet, barring errors or omissions. I would recommend approval as written.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, and now we have an opportunity for the public to make a comment or bring anything to our attention, if anybody here would like to do so. Okay.
You'll have to forgive me, public speaking is not my thing, and I don't like sitting in front of other people, so I probably
Good decision.
Support system. Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Heather Dawson. I'm speaking to you today as a parent of a child who attends Center Drive and as a professional. My oldest child graduated from Center Drive in 2010, and my youngest is currently a 7th grade student. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and associate director of the Kids Education and Residential Program in Maine. This includes a residential facility, school for children, 3-day treatment schools, and 3 preschools. I'm also a 1989 graduate of Center Drive School. Over the last year and a half since returning to an in-person school environment, I've been hearing an alarming increase in students subjected to hate speech, including such comments as, if I had a trans child, I would drown in a bathtub. It's okay to say the N-word, someone gave me an N-word pass. You're identifying as a homosexual offends me. He's going to make me a sandwich like a woman. Pass it on, feminists don't matter, neither do gays. While it sounds terrible to say it, I hope you ever pit your stomach like I did when I heard these things. Definition of bullying is unwanted and aggressive behavior among school-age children that involves real or perceived power imbalance. And if you are not already aware, hate speech is a form of bullying. Students who are not able to access their education as a result of being harassed because of their race, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, or any other part of who they are is a violation of the student's civil rights. Additionally, it's dangerous. Suicide is the second leading cause of death in young people ages 10 to 24. Approximately 46% of all intentional self-injury visits to emergency rooms were young people between the ages of 15 and 19. And approximately 16% of middle school students in Maine report contemplating suicide. And approximately 6% of them make an effort to end their life. More than half of transgendered students have suicidal thoughts, compared to 14% of the student body. In my professional role, I've supported children who felt tormented by their peers. I have worked with them to develop plans to avoid self-injury, and I have sat with them making plans to avoid ending their lives. The impact of comments like I read earlier is far deeper than many people can imagine. And the correlation of increased rates of suicide, hate speech, civil rights violations in schools, and bullying are well established. All students cannot thrive in an environment where these negative behaviors and attitudes towards others are tolerated and accepted as kids will be kids and kids will be me. Our school should be a safe environment for all our students. As an individual working in an educational system, I know how hard it is to manage on a day-to-day basis. I'm acutely aware that in the classroom or other school function environments, a teacher cannot be everywhere or hear all things. But as a school community, we need to balance acknowledging the faults in that system with the risk that is present. We cannot sit idly by or selectively choose what gets addressed and what does not. There are many organizations that are willing to step in and provide the faculty and staff with resources to support and steer the school towards a safer and more inclusive environment, and many of them do that for free. While Center Drive does not actively encourage hate speech or other civil rights violations at school, the response when such an incident does arise does not discourage further ones from occurring. I urge you to explore resources to support Center Drive because the alternative will be devastating to our children and our community. And as a professional, I am happy to help provide resources if you would like them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. I know that's It was probably hard to read that out loud, but, and it was hard for me to hear it, so thank you. I don't know. If we don't usually address our comments right now, but I don't know. If you,
I'm happy to reach out. And I'll get all your contact information. Okay.
thank you so much. Anybody else have anything else they'd like to say? Be on the board.
So I'll just speak really quick. Nicole Fletcher. My son's also in the 7th grade, a different class than her child. And I'm only gonna speak to what I know from the 7th grade class. It is rampant. The things my 7th grader comes home and tells me that get said, so I don't know about the other grades, but wow, the 7th grade class is a special group of kids. And we need to help them. We have conversations on a regular basis in our house about what is okay, how to address it when people are saying things that aren't okay. I didn't experience with my other child who graduated, he came all the way through. And this really seems to be a different type of class this year. I had one that came all the way up through and never any talk like this. And so I don't know if it's a class-specific thing for a grade but just to kind of back up Heather, it does seem to be something that has really shifted since coming back and learning to read and to read into a society of people that are interacting face-to-face on a regular basis in the classrooms.
Thank you. Well, and I think, I know I'm pretty sure you're all aware, like, as long as you're bringing that up too with the administration, it's good for us to hear it, but that's where it needs to start, and I think that's already been begun. So. Thanks.
The same thing. I'll reach out.
Any other further comment? We have another chance at the end of the meeting as well. Okay, so next we're going to move on to presentations.
So, I would like to.
Wait,
Oh, this isn't me? Okay.
not yet. For Mr. Munyai, who's given us the 50 years of service, we have an award. And sadly, we will be losing Mr. Munyai at the end of this year, who was my 4th grade teacher, just for the record. That's not a rumor. We won't talk about when. Now you're on.
Okay. I would like to make a motion that we name the Center Drive Gymnasium after John Munyai for all his years of service and dedication to our district. I think I'm supposed to make a motion.
That was the motion.
did?
Give it-
Okay.
give it-
Okay, I said
now you need a
that. Oh,
second.
it was in there, all right.
I'll second that.
All right. I think it's.
I wish you'd reconsider. They can't pronounce it, much less spell it.
That's why,
Help with spelling bees.
There you go. All in
You don't get
favor.
to vote.
All in favor. John Munyai Gymnasium.
Thank you very much.
go ahead.
I'm not a big sports fan. I am not. But if that's your wish, then I will accept it gratefully. A famous person once told me, when you reject a compliment, you're just asking for it again and again. So I won't put you through that, but thank you very much. My wife will be proud, and my children will be proud, and I am really, really proud, but that's it. Thank you.
You might not like sports, but how many hours did you spend in that gymnasium
I
over the
think to
years?
lots of other things. That's
Well,
how the assemblies
yes.
are, the drama, the music productions, all of them.
I do like sports, but only certain Tom Brady teams.
I take it basketball is not it.
Oh, he was
Well,
there.
that finger doesn't like it anymore. But thank you very much. I appreciate, and thank you all the people that came to the Friday night gala.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to speak to all the people that were there. And I know there were a lot of people that wished to be there. They sent me great thoughts and happy wishes and all that. And they said prayers for my wife. But thank you very much. As I say, my children cried. We watched the video yesterday, and they said, "Boy, that's kind of emotional." And I said, "You weren't there." But thank you. It's been a great trip, and I know we have to press on because we have the town meeting coming right up.
We've got time.
We have
John.
plenty
No, well, I've had plenty of time here too.
Well, 50 years is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Thank you very
It
much.
really is.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to move on to old business. We have policy DJ, getting purchasing requirements, a second reading.
So you have policy DJ, nothing was changed from the first reading. The DJR is the regulation, you don't vote on that, but it's so that you can see how it is, how it manifests from the policy. I would take any questions you have about that, but we covered it last time and there are no changes to it.
Does anyone on the board have questions?
Do we have to make a motion to
Yes.
accept? All right, I make a motion to accept the second reading of policy DJ, bidding purchasing requirements.
All right, all in favor? And we don't need to
Nope.
do the next one. Okay, so then we have the list of summer projects.
You should also have that in your packet. And really, when you look at it, we are very fortunate to have the facility we have. You'll see the list that they look at, not only the annual emptying every classroom, relaxing all the floors, painting the walls, doing what we need to do, but also the refinishing of the gym, kitchen equipment change out, all those different pieces. And this is just your opportunity to see what the work will be all summer that's done by the custodians. And the additional staff that help clean and keep this place looking. Believe it or not, it's now over 20 years old, but it still looks well, and you guys have maintained it well. And you've covered everything we had in the facility study that we had done 5 years ago. So you are in excellent shape here, barring any unforeseen anything.
Great. Now, do we need to
You
vote
do
on
not,
that? I
nope,
didn't think so.
it's really just for your information.
Yeah, it's a pretty exhaustive list. It's good. Be busy this summer. Okay, so new business, we have the bill warrant number 36.
It was circulating,
Andy, you might have that. I don't know if you've sent it
but it will come back.
yet. Okay, and then we have a donation.
Yes, so as I said in my letter to you, the Thompsons donated $15,000 to the school. We're very fortunate to have that. It will replace one of the swing sets out here, and then the request was to have books for the teachers throughout the staff to have more books, which will be taken care of. And this was really just an opportunity to thank them publicly and say that we appreciate that kind of support, and to make sure that you were all aware of that support as well.
Great. Yeah, that's amazing. That's very
Yeah,
generous.
I can assure you it's a first in my 10 years.
Has it?
Yeah, it was very good.
Excellent. Okay, so moving right along to the principal's report. Mrs.
Yes.
Marvin.
You have my report. I submitted it as written. Inside the report, I did tell you, as I said, I took a breakdown of who was attending, Brewer, Baps, Bangor, et cetera. And so that is in that report. If you have any questions, as you know, that could change slightly over the summer. Kids do sometimes change their mind.
No.
Great. Thank you.
Any questions for me?
I think so. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Munyai, your
Thank
final report.
Yes. Yes. Had a wonderful, wonderful wax museum the other day. I apologize for the quality of the pictures, but they were just gorgeous. The third and fourth grade came down and the wax museum you had to push a button on their work, and then they came to life and did an outstanding job. I don't know if you're familiar with how difficult it is to talk in front of a group, but they did a very good job. Some read from their notes, but they were dead still until you pushed their button, and then they came to life. And the costumes were outstanding. So the people that designed their own was very creative, and the parents that helped were just gorgeous. I mean, you could really see involvement with parents and everything. Miss Miller has gone through 3-4 pieces of music. The band played wonderfully the other night at their concert. The band played wonderfully at my gala, and they're working very, very hard with the K4. Some of the band members volunteer and help them sing and help them do all sorts of things. So really, it's been a very busy month for her. And again, very busy the next couple of days with field trips here, there, and everywhere. We're doing baseball. We had a game tonight, and we have a game tomorrow. And then if we won, I guess there's one on Wednesday. And then we have graduation and yearbooks to distribute, and PTG is going to have another meeting next week. It's just so much fun at the end of the year to go, gee, that's done. But it's really, really, and the kids have shown me a lot of respect and treated me very well, very well. And, just I hear what you say, but as I say, they treat me very well. Thankful. There is one correction in my daily report there. I put June 11th was Rich Elliott's Spaghetti Supper, but it is Friday, June 10th. So that's he's needs some help with some funding. He's going through cancer. And he was a prior custodian here, and his sister's here, and his brother was also here. So hopefully everybody will turn out for that. And that completes my last report.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a little busy. Every day of the week has something on it, and some days have multiple things.
Yes, and I didn't write them all down because
Yeah.
I just wanted more than that. But as I said, it was just, the kids are, as I say, just stupendous.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Munyon? Okay, move on to the People Services Director report.
It seems weird tonight to
I
be over
know.
here looking at you all down
I know,
there.
I like it better the L.
So do they.
Okay, so you should have my report in your packet, and just a couple of things I wanted to highlight. We did do our transition to ninth grade meetings, and we had 100% attendance with the students, which is what I really wanted to have happen. So they were all part of their meetings to help plan for their high school first year. And I'm really appreciative of the work that Miss Hunter did and the other staff in the 8th grade getting the kids ready, and the Brewer staff who joined the meetings and helped guide a lot of the discussions as well. So that was good. Amanda Hill has been hired as our special ed teacher. You'll see that later in the agenda. And we're so happy to have her on board with us as well. And then summer school is really well underway. I think I've got 68 students coming, and 30 special ed kids are coming of that group. So that's really fabulous as well. And I would love to hear from any of you if there are any special topics that you'd like me to focus on next year. If there's something you want to know more about, please just give me a call or an email, and I'd be happy to share that with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, move on to superintendent's report.
We have covered my report except for personnel. So barring any questions, I submitted as written, and just as thank you to John for the 50 years that he's given us. That's unbelievable dedication. I know he's tired of hearing it.
Now, please.
All right, any questions? All right, so we'll receive all of those reports.
Yep.
And move on to personnel, Amanda Hill.
So I would nominate Amanda Hill, special education teacher.
I make a motion to accept the recommendation of Amanda Hill as the special education teacher.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? Okay. Great. And retirements.
Yes, so under resignations for retirement, Tammy Webb, and Ed Tech, who's been here quite a while. And I would recommend you accept her resignation for the purpose of retirement with regret.
Get a motion.
Motion to accept.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor? Okay. All right, so there's no executive session
No.
needed. So any other questions or comments from the public or the board, if there's anything else folks want to say?
I just want to apologize for arriving late, especially right in the middle of your speech, Heather. As emotional as it was, I would like to speak to you afterwards, if I could just read what you had to say.
Sure.
Anybody else? Okay. Did you have something?
Yes, so we have one more thing. Mr. Hillman will be leaving us after his term on the school committee. We want to thank him. It wasn't quite 50 years, but it was
Probably seems it.
Yeah, thank you, Ian.
tough act to follow, but we figured we'd still wrap you in.
It would, it will. Thank you so much, I really enjoyed my time. If it wasn't so busy at the other work, I'd probably still be here, but right now, my focus is on the military.
It's great to have you. Thanks for your service.
You're welcome.
Okay. I think that's it. So we can adjourn the meeting at 6:55. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you, Mr. Munyai.
Thank you for naming the gym master.